Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Art Is You podcast. I'm your host, Carly Scott, and today we are talking about regulating our nervous systems. Let's all take a deep breath together. Sorry, I didn't warn you guys for that one. But essentially, if you're anything like me, you have a very dysregulated nervous system. And something as simple as taking a deep breath might be difficult for you. And yeah, so I personally have a very dysregulated nervous system. So before we dive into regulating your nervous system, I wanted to talk about the symptoms of a dysregulated nervous system. That way you can get an idea of if you have one too. And most of us do have a dysregulated nervous system on some level. But yeah, I really want to focus on this for myself in 2025. Just trying to regulate my nervous system and exist at a more regulated, calm, safe state within myself. So if that's something you want to work on too, this might be a good episode for you to tune into, because we're going to chat about all of the things I'm going to be doing this year to work on regulating my nervous system. But first, let's talk about what a dysregulated nervous system looks like. And literally, I have all of the symptoms, you guys. I have them all. So do not feel bad if you resonate with these or some of them, because I literally resonate with every single one. Okay? So this is what Chat GPT has to say about a dysregulated nervous system. Can show up in different ways depending on whether you're stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. It's essentially survival mode of your body. You've heard of fight or flight. There's also the freeze response and the fawn response, which we'll get into. But I display all four of those different responses. So number one is the fight mode, which is where everything feels like a battle. In irritability, anger, or frustration over small things, feeling defensive or easily triggered, racing thoughts, difficulty concentrating, tension in the jaw, shoulders, and feeling the need to control things. So yeah, for me, this could show up I really connect with the part where it says feeling defensive and easily triggered. So for me, if I get triggered in certain situations, that is going to trigger my fight mode, and I'm going to almost feel like I'm fighting for my life, whether that's I'm starting to get really defensive, or yeah, I just literally go to this mode of survival. And sometimes the situation does not warrant that at all. But yeah, anyways, because I have all four, I do not use fight in every situation. So every time my survival instincts are triggered, I'm going to have a different response. Not always consciously choosing. Remember, fight and flight, this is your body's instincts and natural response to stress, fear, danger, that kind of thing. So it's essentially a way for your body to try to protect itself. But we are not constantly in danger, but our bodies can constantly be in fight or flight, even if you're not constantly in danger. And so this is the case for me. I'm pretty safe. Right now I'm very safe, but I still daily deal with this dysregulated nervous system where I could be very reactive or shut down at a very small thing. So number two is flight mode, which is the need to escape the situation. So this could look like constant anxiety or restlessness, overthinking and feeling overwhelmed, trouble sleeping, heart racing, shallow breathing, perfectionism, or people pleasing to avoid conflict. So essentially you're trying to get out of the situation, get away from it because your body's like, I'm scared, or this is not a safe situation. And personally, I have a lot of restlessness and anxiety. I also struggle with the shallow breathing. I don't naturally, I don't know if I should say I don't naturally breathe very deeply, but ever since I've been in this fight or flight mode, which I think has been most of my life, I don't breathe very deeply because I'm just constantly like a little anxious. So that's a sign for that for sure. And then number 3 is freeze mode. Freeze mode is when you feel stuck. So this could look like feeling numb or disconnected, disassociated, brain fog, difficulty making decisions, low motivation and energy, feeling heavy, sluggish, and exhausted even after resting, and then avoiding responsibilities or isolating from others. Yeah, again, freeze mode is another one I like to use because again, it's like your body's way of protecting yourself from what you perceive to be dangerous or like a threat. And the feeling numb and disconnected really started to manifest for me when I was experiencing my panic attacks for the first time in like 2019. Around then, I would feel very numb, like my hands would start to feel numb. There would be like tingling in my body, and sometimes it would just feel like I felt disconnected from my body and like I wasn't in it and like it wasn't real. So like kind of like that brain fog too, and like things would feel kind of confusing, difficulty making decisions, feeling like sluggish and exhausted after resting. And for me, this stuck, like freeze mode has come up a lot for me as I've been going through a lot of my childhood trauma and like trying to heal and unpack some of it. This freeze mode can happen for me where I'll get stuck in something for a long time before I'm able to like really do the healing work I need to do, because I'm so afraid of it and I don't feel safe to look at it or safe to go there, and so I get frozen or whatever. I've been experiencing that one a lot over the last few years. Fawn mode is the need to keep others happy to feel safe. So it's when you do your people-pleasing thing where you are just trying to meet other people's needs around you to stay safe, even if that means like neglecting your own needs. So that can look like prioritizing others' needs over your own, struggling to say no or set boundaries, feeling guilt or anxiety when others are upset, people-pleasing at a cost to your well-being, and then suppressing your true emotions to keep the peace. Oh my goodness, you guys, that last one hit. I feel like fawn mode was the first one that I recognized was like, oh, like I don't have to do this anymore. As far as I almost thought I was doing a good thing by doing it. Like, not only was I keeping myself safe by pleasing others, but I almost felt like, well, I'm supposed to. Like, I'm supposed to make other people feel good, even at my expense. Like, I thought that was doing the right thing. I thought that it would be selfish for me to take care of myself instead of someone else's needs. Like, I thought if my needs conflicted with someone else, that like theirs were always correct. And so I had to meet theirs even if it conflicted with mine or like hurt me in some way. And as soon as I realized that that actually wasn't the case, and that like, say I'm in a situation where I'm not actually in danger, I don't have to fawn. I don't have to like try to figure out what the other person wants me to be and then try to be that for them so they don't get mad at me, and, you know, try to show up and exactly how they want me to and talk exactly how they want me to. And oh, it's so exhausting to try to figure out what somebody wants from you. Like, I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know. Like, I just would drive myself crazy. And then, yeah, and it just felt horrible inside. So I feel like fawning is the first one that I've tried to kind of just stop using as much. Obviously, again, if I need it for survival, I'll do what I have to. But like, if it's just a normal life situation where like the worst that is gonna happen is they don't like me or they think I'm like mean or something, I don't know, but like I'm not gonna fawn, like try to like cater to everything for you if like, I don't know, like if that's going to make me go crazy, which it does make me go crazy, I don't need to do that. Like, we are all people. We can communicate if we need something. We can communicate if we can't give someone something for some reason. Like, and if you don't want to communicate and you don't want to do that, that's fine too, but you just can't, you can't expect someone else to constantly be like catering and twisting and changing and bending and breaking themselves to fit what you want to make you comfortable. That's just not how life works. And life gets so much easier when you stop controlling other people or trying to control what they're doing and just try to focus on yourself. So yeah. So I feel like fawning is the one I'm like really trying to cut out, but I'm trying to cut them all out. I really want to stop the fight, response, and freeze and flight, because I want to be available for my life. I want to, like right now, because I have a dysregulated nervous system, I do get triggered, and that sends me into a fight or flight state most of the time, even when it shouldn't be sending me there, because it's not a dangerous or unsafe situation that is happening. Once you become aware of what your survival instincts, tendencies are, again, for me, I realized I had all four, and I was using all four for different reasons at different times, and I didn't know when one was going to come out and when a different was going to come out, because these things were happening so fast, these reactions. It was taking me to a place that wasn't the present moment. It was taking me zoop back in time, rewind to the very first time that I felt that way. And your body learns and remembers, and a trigger that you might not think is like correlated with anything, you're like, why did I react that way? Something within you stored information that correlated those two things, and that is why your body is reacting that way. At one point, it did not feel safe with that trigger, and so now your body is trying to protect you from a future situation that will hurt you in the same way. And your body's not wrong for that. They're doing its job, trying to keep you safe. As you know, as you grow up, or as I've grown up, I've learned that it is not good to be in a constant state of dysregulation, a constant state of stress and anxiety about something bad happening, about the world, about other people and what they think of you. That constant, just unregulated, unsafe anxiety, like, that is not good for your body to constantly be in that state. And I am running in that state most of the time because I have so much dysregulation, you guys. And yeah, we're working on it. Okay, I always end up talking way more than I expect to, you guys. I'm so sorry. Really quickly, I'm going to chat about what a regulated nervous system looks like, what the symptoms are for that, and then we'll talk about some things we can do to regulate our nervous systems together in 2025. But let's just get excited really quick about like what it's going to look like when our nervous systems are regulated. It's going to be amazing. So here's what chat has to say. A regulated nervous system means your body and mind can adapt to stress without getting stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. Instead, you can experience stress and then return to a state of calm and balance. Here's what that looks like. So, emotional signs that you're regulated, you feel a general sense of calm and safety. Stressful situations don't overwhelm you. You can process and move through them. You experience a range of emotions without feeling stuck in any one state. You can set and maintain healthy boundaries without guilt or fear, and you feel connected to yourself and others with a sense of trust. All of these sound so wonderful, and I've got a long way to go, you guys, but that's okay. I do feel like I am getting a lot better at experiencing a wide range of emotions without feeling stuck in them, because over the last few years I have been getting so stuck in my emotions, you guys, and I'm starting to learn how to like feel them, but like let them process a little faster, because wow, I was slow. They would get stuck all clogged up in there. Okay, anyways, next one is mental signs that you're regulated. Your thoughts are clear, focused, and flexible. Wow, that's not me. As far as like clear and focused goes. Just like listen to one of these episodes. Okay, you can make decisions without excessive overthinking or fear. You feel present rather than lost in worry or numbing out. And you handle the uncertainty with more ease rather than spiraling into anxiety. Yeah, these are good goals to aspire to. Physical signs that you're regulated. Your breath is deep and steady rather than shallow and tight. Your heart rate and muscles feel relaxed when at rest. You have good digestion. And you sleep well and wake up feeling rested. Your energy levels feel steady rather than crashing or spiking. Okay, the digestive one, I made like a weird sound after. I'm so sorry, you guys. But essentially, like, you guys, being dysregulated constantly affects your whole body. It does not just impact like the way you behave and how you treat others and how your headspace feels, but like also your body, like literally your gut and like how you digest food. Like all of this is connected. And when we are so like dysregulated and tense and just on edge constantly, you are creating a lot of just, unnecessary tension and probably pain in your body as well. Okay, last one is behavioral signs that you're regulated look like taking actions on tasks without procrastinating. From overwhelm, you can rest without guilt and allow yourself downtime. You handle conflict in a way that feels safe and balanced, and you feel comfortable in both solitude and social situations. Right now, I feel comfortable in solitude and like around two people. Two specific people, mind you, like not just any two people. I need to work on my social again, because it's hard when you like change your life and you go from being one way as a person and thinking one way as a person and surrounding yourself with a certain type of person to like kind of just completely changing. It's really scary to like be social again and be around other people again, because it's like I've gotten used to my new self. I've gotten used to like, and it's not like a new self, you guys, it's just I'm me. Like I'm just getting to know me for like the first time, like really getting to know me without all the like people pleasing and trying to be something for someone else. So like getting to know me, I feel like is just, I don't know what I was talking about. You guys, I'm talking way too much that I'm losing my spot. So we're gonna skip to the end of this. It says, a regulated nervous system doesn't mean never feeling stress. It means being able to move through stress without getting stuck. So that is the goal that I'm striving for in 2025. I know stress will always come up in life. Like the beginning of this year has been a testament to, you never know when just like a bunch of shit's gonna start happening, right? Like in the world or whatever. Like, we cannot control most things. Just you. Like, that's really all you have control over, is just you. And so because of that, I'm trying to prepare myself in 2025 to have a regulated nervous system, not where I never feel stress again, but when life, which it has shown me to be very stressful, keeps being stressful, because it will keep being stressful, I can stay safe and regulated when I am actually physically and like, you know, mentally, all those things. When I'm like actually safe, like my reality is safe, I'm not being like attacked or whatever. If I'm actually safe, I don't need to dysregulate. And if I'm actually in danger, let those survival instincts kick in. Let them kick in. Let them take over. And let them help you. But when you are actually safe and when you don't want to be dysregulated, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? What can we do in 2025 to regulate together? Here's what chat says we need to be doing to regulate our nervous systems. Number 1, focus on the breath. Okay? I already talked about how I breathe kind of shallow, I think, and my anxiety makes it difficult for me at times to breathe deeply. But breathing deeply really does help calm you down. Sometimes when I'm worked up, I just don't want to calm down, but then when I do start calming down, I want to, if that makes sense. Like, something I've learned is resisting the thing is really what causes most, if not all, of the suffering. If I get dysregulated and I'm trying to regulate myself, resisting becoming regulated is going to keep me in that dysregulated space, obviously. But like, it's almost just like this feeling of like, oh, I can't, but it's like, I'm resisting it. I'm literally pushing it away, like, I can't do it. I can't, it's too hard. It's too hard to breathe. Don't make me. And the more you resist it, you're just prolonging the painful experience. And when I give in to trying, even though like sometimes I literally can't breathe through my nose because it's like it's clogged with like snot from like crying or like being so dysregulated and having an emotional reaction, like, breathe through your mouth then. Like, it's okay, like, just keep breathing, because you have to do the action. Make yourself start doing the action that you know will help you, even though no part of your feelings and emotion wants to do that action. You breathe through it, and then soon you will start to feel calm. And this is coming from someone who has had a lot of like panic attacks and moments of very, very high kind of survival, where it's like, I feel like I'm going to die. And I think that, you know, these fight or flight responses I'm having, I have learned that they are not actually helpful for me when I'm in a panic attack. When I'm in a panic attack, calming my nervous system is the first and like best thing I can do for myself to get me out of it. And you don't have to get all the way to a level of a panic attack for this to help you and to work for you. And yeah, so breathing is important, you guys. I'm very resistant to breathing, but doing things like breathing meditations or like a guided breathing meditation or a guided like breathwork session, there's so many free resources out there. You could look up on Spotify or YouTube like 5-minute breathing exercise or guided meditation, whatever you want to do. It can start really short, even if you just want to get used to different types of breathing and seeing how that feels. Yeah, I would recommend that. I want to work on doing some sort of daily practice around breath work, whether it's, again, like a short a guided breathwork session or a yoga session where I'm like, I do yoga, but I really focus on my breath throughout, that kind of thing. Or I just sit there and breathe and take like 10 really deep breaths. Like, I want to focus on a little bit of breathing every day. Number 2 is move your body gently. Movement releases stored tension, so you can start with walking, especially in nature, yoga or stretching, and then even shaking, you guys. I don't know if you've heard of this, but shaking your body, like, anyway, it could be dancing if you don't want to just like shake it, but if you literally just stand there and like shake your limbs, like move them around, you are shaking off that stress and that tension. Animals do this. My dog does this, okay? They shake it off. And of course, I'm talking about, again, situations where you're okay, you're safe, but something rattled you, something startled you, something spooked you. You can kind of just shake it off. You can address it, you can feel it, but just let it move through you. I am also working on taking daily walks with my dog. So my goal is to, as often as I can, I'm going to try to do the daily walk with my dog. I know it's not going to be 100% all year long, probably. But most days, if I can get outside and go for a walk, it literally feels amazing. I feel so much better after a walk, and I love being outside and like seeing trees with my eyes and like breathing fresh, cold air. I don't know, something about it really helps the nervous system feel safe. All right, next one. Engage your senses. Bringing yourself into the present moment can help reset your system. Cold water splashed on your face, hold something textured like a rock or fabric, and focus on how it feels, and then smelling calming scents like lavender or eucalyptus. I love all 3 of these. I personally have a bunch of rocks and crystals all around my apartment, and something that I've realized when I am very dysregulated, if I hold on to a rock, it actually does really help me calm down, you guys. Like, it's something to hold and focus on, but this might sound stupid. I don't know. Like, here's my AirPod case right here. If I held this is not the same as holding a rock, you guys. It feels like plastic. Hold the rock instead. Anyways, that's how I feel about it. Like, when I hold the rock, there's something different about it, and it is really helpful for me. When I'm really in that worked up state, like holding it and just breathing helps me ground. And then smelling, even like essential oils. I have a bunch of essential oils. I love them. Lavender is my favorite. But it kind of helps reset your brain because it's so strong, and it's a sense for you to focus on that brings you to the present moment and kind of pulls you out of your head for a second. Oh yeah, and then the cold water one, I wanted to make a note really quick. If you don't want to splash your face with cold water, something I like to do in the shower is sometimes I'll just turn it to cold for like a few seconds and just get that like rush of cold, and then you can turn it back to hot and warm back up. But that's something that I enjoy doing. And okay, next one, number 4. Use sound to regulate. Humming or singing activates the vagus nerve, and listening to calming music or nature sounds or white noise. So the humming and singing is something you can do that actually helps like your body regulate. Again, humming, activating the vagus nerve, that calms your nervous system. I don't remember what that means exactly, but that really calms your body down. And I like to listen to like calming music and nature sounds before bed too. It's really nice. Okay. Number 5 is grounding techniques, which is essentially like holding a rock is grounding. So is like putting your feet on the ground and touching something next to you. And then just engaging your 5 senses. Touching, listening to something, smelling, tasting, using your senses to get present. Number 6. Strengthen a sense of safety. Wrap yourself in a blanket or wear soft clothing. Give yourself a gentle self-hug or tap your arms. Imagine a safe, peaceful place in your mind. Physical touch for yourself actually works, you guys. especially when you're dysregulated and feeling anxious. Like, it helps to have some kind of stimulation. I know some people will use like a stress ball, or like something they can squeeze, or like a fidget, something they can focus on. But I really love to like squeeze my arms, because it just it like wakes my body up kind of too. Like, even if you do gentle squeezes along like your arms or legs, that can help like just focus on something else, honestly, and just feel your body and focus on that. Also treating yourself kind of like a parent would treat a child, as far as making them feel safe. So wrap yourself up, feel cozy, hug yourself, even speak soothing things to yourself, and things that you think would calm you down if someone else were saying them to you, say them to yourself. Number 7, build a routine of regulation. Start your morning with deep breathing instead of checking your phone. I'm called out. And take breaks throughout the day to reset. Not called out, because I probably take too many breaks throughout the day. Develop a nighttime wind down routine. Dim the lights, soft sounds, slow movements. Love that. And that's all, you guys. To wrap up, the 3 main things that I am going to focus on in 2025 to regulate my nervous system: breathing, deep breaths, and what do I say? Oh yeah, breath work, of like guided breath meditations and breath work. Yes, that. I want to do that every day. And a second thing I'm going to focus on is movement. Soft, gentle movement, like walking my dog every day, or stretching, yoga, things that are gentle to my body, but also get my body moving and help me feel safe and like I'm a part of the world. And then the last thing I'm really going to focus on is my morning and nighttime routine, as far as setting those up to have a regulated nervous system. It's not like, get up at 6 a.m., I'm going to do this, this, and this to like have the best, most productive day. For me, I think I need to wake up at a good time, probably like 8 a.m., and be gentle with myself in the morning, not go on my phone right away, put on soft music, speak affirmations to myself as I'm getting ready of like, I am safe, I am calm, like we're gonna have a good day today, like I love myself. Things that make me feel safe and good and regulated to start the day. That's what I want to do in the morning. I want to put on clothes that make me feel good, and I want to eat food that makes me feel good. And yeah, throughout the day, go for my walk, do my thing, do my breath work, and then at night have a nighttime routine that settles my body down, calms me down, and gets me ready for another peaceful or regulated day ahead. So clean the kitchen the night before, get like all the dishes put away, and have that be a peaceful, clean space to wake up to. Maybe set out like a clean pair of clothes for myself, so I don't have to think about that the next day. And winding down with reading a book instead of being on my phone, or like listening to relaxing music while I'm getting ready for bed and washing my face and brushing my teeth and all of that. I would like to drink more tea too. I don't know if that helps with the nervous system, but those are the 3 ways I think I'm going to hyper focus on regulating my nervous system this year. And then on top of that, just normal life stuff that happens. I'm going to do my best to practice having a regulated nervous system in moments of stress, doing my best to keep my body calm and regulated, and giving myself what I need to regulate myself when that stress comes up, and dealing with it from a regulated space where I'm able to think more clearly and maybe come at it with a more calm and wise, centered perspective. You know what I mean? That's the goal for 2025, in addition to doing this podcast every week. But this is another way, you guys, that I'm practicing regulating my nervous system, because showing my face on the internet, speaking like this, posting it, is showing me that it's safe. it's safe. Even if it's scary, it's safe. Whatever that means. Like, I can exist like this and I'm still going to be okay and I can still live my life. And that is proving to me that it's safe, and I don't need to be dysregulated by the thought of sharing a podcast episode. I can be a regulated queen. I don't know why I just said that. But that's what we're doing in 2025. We can check in next week and see how our nervous systems are feeling. But anyway, I hope this episode was helpful in some way, and that we can all regulate our nervous systems together in 2025. I love you. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.